Welcome. This is Kids and Family Yoga. Thanks for joining us. Take your shoes off. Join us on the floor in easy pose. We're going to have about a half an hour of yoga practice, maybe less. Near the end, we're going to see a couple new poses that I'm going to show you. I have a couple of pictures. We'll try shoulder stand, which we did last class. There it is. Shoulder stand. And then we could even change it to be what's called plow and take our legs over our head. And adults, if those poses aren't for you, that's okay, but I think a lot of the kids would like to try. So we'll save those for the end of class for good reason. We want to be nice and stretched out before we try doing something like that. So we'll start with the warm-up. Sitting in easy pose, that's our crisscross legs. Sitting up tall though, good posture. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers and push the palms forward, reach up to the ceiling. So we're going to keep our fingers interlaced like this. We're going to inhale while we're reaching up, and we're going to exhale, hands down in front, and then we inhale again and lift. We're breathing through our nose, so exhale, air comes out your nose. Inhale, air comes in your nose. So we're trying to match our own breath with this movement, nice and slow and long. One more time. We're going to continue breathing the same way, but change our hands. We're going to start in prayer right here. We inhale. And we're going to exhale, push our palms out like we're pushing on the side walls. And then we inhale, palms back together. So slow motion with your breath. Exhale, inhale. Now you might be going at a different speed than me. That's okay. I want you to follow your own breath. Nice and slow as you can. One more time. Some deep breathing exercises can help to clear your mind. If you're feeling stressed out or anxious, then it's a good thing to try. So it's a good way to also start class. We're going to right away turn onto hands and knees and do some cat and cow. Let's get our spine warmed up. So cat stretch is when we round our backs like a cat up to the ceiling and tuck your chin in. And then cow, a cow has these shoulders and hips that stick up, and the middle of the back kind of dips down while its head's up. So that looks more like a cow. So exhale your air out while you do your cat stretch. And inhale as you lift your head and your hips in cow. Continue, use your breath. Exhale in cat, nice and long and slow. Inhale in cow. We're still breathing through our noses. Do it a few more times. All right, we're going to go into down dog. Continuing to warm up. Hips are up in the air, and you're on your toes. I want you to make this so you can go into plank. So drop your hips. And from here, I want you to just keep transitioning from down dog to plank. So we're flowing from one to the other. And we'll kind of push our chest back towards our knees in down dog. And then we'll bring our shoulders back over our wrists in plank. And this takes a lot of strength in your abdominals and your midsection. All right, down dog, so hips are up, and I want you to just step or hop forward and roll up to a stand. We're going to go right into our sun salutations. So we're standing facing side, and we'll do the same sequence of poses as we usually do, so most of you probably know this if you've been following along. Here we go. We reach up to the ceiling first, and then swan dive down to forward fold. We come up halfway with a flat back, and that's monkey and fold. Set your hands down and step back to plank. Sink down, that's crocodile. And then up dog, straighten the arms, looking forward. And then down dog, hips up. Step or hop your feet towards your hands. Reverse swan dive, big reach up. And in chair with your palms together. We're going to flow in chair, keeping the palms together. We sit down deep and reach up really tall. This is good to get your blood pumping, and it just makes you warmer, and that's what we want in the beginning of class. Really sit your bottom back, like there's a chair back there. Imaginary chair. Once more. All right, sun salutations, here we go. Sweep your arms up to the sky. Swan dive down to forward fold. Monkey. Fold. Plank. Crocodile. Most of you at home probably can say this with me because you know it. Up dog. And that's great. Practice saying it. Down dog. Step or hop through. Reverse swan dive. And chair. Keep going in chair, up and down. So use those legs. Try to keep your knees over your ankles. So don't let your knees go forward. Instead, really think about sticking your bottom back behind you further. All right, one more time. Sweep up, forward fold. Monkey, fold, plank. Crocodile, up dog, down dog. Step or hop through. Reverse swan dive up and end in chair. I want you to hold your chair this time. So I want you to be able to wiggle your toes. Don't be silly, don't fall backwards, but maybe wiggle your toes a little bit, and that way you know that you're depending on all your body weight being in your heels, and that way you know you're doing it right. Look forward, right over your fingertips, and that's your chair. Good. Feeling warm, wonderful. We're going to clasp our hands behind our back like hero, opening the chest. Pull your shoulders back behind you. Your feet are close together. Watch me while you hold this position, as I want you to see first what we're doing. We sit down like we do chair, but then we're going to fold forward and lift our hands towards the ceiling. Keeping the hands together, you're going to lower them and stand up again. So that's our standing yoga seal. Okay, here we go. So like you'd sit in chair, and then lean forward and lift the hands. Then lower the hands to your lower back and stand up again. Continue flowing slowly a few times to do this. This really helps stretch out the chest. And if you concentrate on pulling your shoulders back behind you, also strengthen the upper back. Remember that you bend your knees like you sit in chair. Do it one more time. Wonderful. After doing that, I want you to interlace your fingers, push your palms forward, and then like you're doing your cat stretch, and push your back out behind you and kind of tuck your tail in. If you had a tail, you tuck it between your legs and tuck your chin down. And then release. Let's just do some elephant swings to loosen up the shoulders. Allow your arms to hang limp, so they should just like wrap around your hips as you turn your shoulders. Don't turn your head. I want you to look forward and just let your shoulders turn. There you go, perfect. Maggie's like a helicopter. She's going to take off here. She's got lots of momentum with those arms. As you can see, I keep moving away from her. All right. Moving on to some standing poses. I want you to go really wide with your legs. We're going to go into sun pose. Let's set up, though. Make sure we do this right with our toes turned out and our knees turned out, not like this, pushing outwards. Palms up. we sink down low in the legs. This is sun pose, that's it. But it's not that easy if you try to stay here for a while. So that's what we're gonna challenge ourselves to do right now, but you have to be really low. You see how my knees are bent? I'm not just standing here, I'm as low as I possibly can be. Bend those knees and push them out. Your legs are a little too wide. So we want, if you check, your knees to be kind of over your ankles if you're in the right spot. There you go. Good. Now, next thing we can add on is lifting the heels. Try one, put it down. Try the other. And maybe you want to just keep doing that, or maybe you try both of them and try to hold that with both heels up. How's that? But tough, palms out, keep that full pose. Keep breathing through your nose. Sink down lower. I don't see your knees bent. Oh, goodness. We're going to hang forward. Hold your elbows and just side to side. Easy rock side to side. See if you can hang down a little further towards the floor. Really, man? You can't go any lower? Look how my elbows are almost on the floor. Can you hang further down? Yes, you can. Good. Slow the rocking. It should be a gentle sway, really slow. All right, we're all on up. Good. Okay, so we're going to keep these legs wide in place, just like they were. Don't move them. We're going to turn just one foot out. So this will be your left foot. And so that left knee is going to face the side. Everything else is still forward towards your screen if you're facing us. And we're going to go into side angle. So we're going to lean over on this left elbow that's going to be on the thigh. And then like Maggie's doing, reach on over. You can either reach to the ceiling or you can reach so that you form this straight line from your arm down your body, down your leg. That's your side angle. Try to keep your left knee bent. And we feel this length and strong side of the body getting stretched.
Kind of looks like triangle.
Yeah, it is similar to triangle, and let's try both to see the difference. So we have the knee bent, and if we straighten it like Maggie said, there's triangle. So go ahead and move into triangle. And move back into side angle. Bend your knee.
My arm's tired.
Yeah, the arm's tired for sure. Reach long, show how strong you are. Don't let your head fall, Maggie. Keep it in line with your body. There you go. You're making our neck strong too. Okay, so we need a break from that for sure. Let's bring our legs in for a little bit. Okay, let's do some backstroke. Here we go. We're going to have straight arms, and if we were on our backs swimming in the pool, this looks kind of like backstroke. I want you to really turn your shoulders. See how my side, I'm facing the side of the room, and now I'm facing the other side of the room, and now I'm facing the other side of the room. So then continue doing that as you do your backstroke. Turn your shoulders. So you're reaching forward and back. Reaching forward and back with the other arms. Can you do it? I don't know. It requires a little bit of coordination. It's okay. All right, it just gave us a little break, so that's what we needed. Okay. Wide legs. When we do a pose on one side, we want to try to make it even and do the same thing on the other side. So we want to turn this time. It's going to be your right foot out to the side and bend your right knee so we can go into our side angle. Lean over and reach on up and over. Wow. So Maggie's gotten even deeper into this, and that's totally fine to do if you are flexible enough. You can lean on the elbow, but if you want to straighten the arms and reach for the floor, maybe you can even come down to the floor, but your hands should be inside your leg. Yeah. And you should still be reaching up towards the ceiling. Yeah. So maybe you come up a little higher because I don't want you to lean forward with the top arm. I want you to still reach for the ceiling. I know it is. This is a workout. We are doing exercise here.
I feel like we do this arm and others.
We're going into triangle. How do we do that? Just straighten the leg and stay in the pose, reaching out to the ceiling. Yeah, that can be the hard part.
Well, I never.
Go back into side angle, bend the knee. All right, enough. We can stop there. And we can move into some balance poses. First, we're going to do some hip circles to loosen up. Our feet are still kind of wide. And I want you to take your hips around like you would slow motion hula hoop. Hips move around in a circle. Keep your knees kind of bent. Yes, it kind of feels silly, feels strange, but really see if you can move your hips around all the way in a circle, forward and side, and all the way back, all the way to the side, and all the way forward again. And then see if you can do it without moving your shoulders, because this is not hip circles. This is, and it's kind of hard to get control of your hips sometimes, so it takes practice. And then I'm going to ask you to hit your reverse button and go the other direction. And that might feel even more awkward. Bend your knees, get a little bit lower. Keep your knees bent. So if I'm up here, I can't move my hips very much. If I sink a little bit lower, I can more easily take my hips around. All right, there's your homework. You got to practice more if you didn't quite get that. It's okay. It was a kind of a break. Now we're going to work on some balance. I have two really challenging balance poses for you. One being half moon, and the other one eagle. Whoa, our two hardest ones. Okay, Maggie evidently wants to do eagle first. So let's first practice the arms. So just stand up tall, put your right elbow forward, take your left arm under, and then try to wrap it around. Okay? You may not be able to do it. You may be here. That's okay. It's all right. Now, we're going to stand on the left leg so that your right leg is going to be able to wrap around. Cross it over. And try to tuck your toes behind the other leg. If you've made it this far, excellent. Don't fall over. If you need to put the foot back on the floor, do that. If you think this is easy, then sit down like you're sitting in chair and see if you can still maintain this position. How are we doing? Eagle is just all wrapped up and just kind of fun to try. If you're falling over, you're not the only one. Right. Let's try the other side. See how we do. Left elbow forward. Take the right arm under and try to wrap around. All right, good. And if you want to just do the arms, that's fine. You can stand here and do that. If you want to try the legs, we're going to try the left leg wrapping around this time. So ever so carefully try to wrap, but if you need to just put the toe back on the floor, try again, that's all right. If you get it and you want to sit down, that would truly be our eagle pose. Believe me, this doesn't work for everyone. This is just fun to try. Maggie's given up on us. All right. We tried eagle. Half moon. Totally different kind of balance. Watch me first. Watch me. Okay. So we're going to face side. And one leg's up in the air while my hands are down. This is what we call standing splits. From here, you lift your arm up so the same leg and arm are lifted, okay?
I can't quite straighten my leg.
So that's our balancing half moon. Let's try it together. All right, so first, I'm gonna lean forward, set your fingers down, and that one leg is lifted in the air. Now, very carefully, you try to lift your arm up so that you're then facing the side of the room with your arm reached to the ceiling and your leg reached back behind you. Again, I'm challenging you today with these difficult poses to see what you can do.
Ground.
Yeah.
Then I can actually start my leg.
Okay. You can play around with that and do it a little differently. That's totally fine. All right. So we have another side to try. So I'm going to turn around. You don't have to at home. It doesn't matter. As long as you know to lift your other leg up as you lean forward. And then you try to open up to the side. No harm in trying. See what happens. Keep breathing. If you're in this pose, breathe through your nose. Don't hold your breath. And good try. We did it. That's our balancing half moon. Great. We are going to go down to the floor. No more balance. Okay. Come on down. We're just going to start, got to face side, because we're going to do boat pose.
Boat is balancing. Balancing.
Well, in a totally different kind of way.
It's still balancing.
All right. Sitting up really tall. We're not like rounded like this. We're really tall. Your shoulders pulled back. We're going into boat. So lean back, and then keeping your knees bent, you just lift those feet off the floor. So that's boat. Let's go into flower, which is similar. Take those arms through the legs, and then palms up to the ceiling.
Flower is easier because your arms are holding up your legs and you can't lean back as much.
But we're going to do 3 poses in a row that are similar. So we went for boat, into flower. Now we go to incline plank. Straighten the legs. Take those hands to the floor and lift your bottom off the floor.
I was thinking.
Take your feet closer together.
I was thinking from flower to turtle because you just flip your hands and you fit your
Yep.
feet and
There's
then.
lots of similar poses. We're going to go through these same 3 again. So sit down, bend the knees, lean back, and you're in boat. Palms up. Try to pull your shoulders back. It's hard, isn't it?
I'd rather lean back.
Yes, you are leaning back and your shoulders are back instead of like this is what I mean. I don't want that. I want you leaning. Now we go into flower.
Turn your hands.
And then we go into incline plank. Ready one more time. Sit it down. Find boat. And into flower. And into incline plank. All right, I promised we would try our shoulder stand and plow, and it's time to try. I want you to watch me first. Stay seated. Stay seated, okay? Shoulder stand, if you want to try it, your legs are in the air. Just watch. I know you're anxious. Kind of rock your legs up in the air, and you support yourself with your hands here as you try to keep your legs vertical, straight up to the ceiling, while your elbows are down and you just look up at your legs. Now, that's our shoulder stand. I need to move a little bit for plow. Keep watching. You're still sitting down. Shoulder stand, plow. We're going to go ahead and drop the legs over, and your feet might even come all the way to the floor. It's really important you don't turn your head while you do this. That's why you're still seated watching me, right? Because if you try to turn your head while you do that, you really can hurt your neck. Okay? So you know what you're doing? Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Lay back with me now. Remember, don't look at the screen. Don't turn your head. You're looking up at the ceiling. Try to keep your legs together and straight if you can. Rock them up and support yourself with your hands. Look up at your feet. Just keep looking up at your feet. Keep your legs together. Try to make them vertical all the way from the ceiling to the floor. Straight line. It's kind of hard to do. That part takes practice. Okay, now if you want to try plow, you're going to gently take your legs over your head. If that hurts your neck, do not do it. Come on out of it and just watch us. Just stay here if you're in your pose. Do not look side to side. Okay, we're gonna go back into shoulder stand for a moment, and then go ahead and gently roll on out. Hug your knees and rock on your back. All right, we tried that. We won't do that very often, but if you feel like you want to practice more, make sure you are really warmed up before you do that.
I've never done plow before.
All right, rock up to a seated position. Okay, so we're going to work on some flexibility now. So staff pose, you're seated with your legs out straight. Now I want you to take one knee, doesn't matter which one, and take it out to the side. And we're leaning forward. Head to knee is all they call this pose, head to knee. So we're trying to fold a little bit closer down to get a good stretch. Now, see if you can flex your foot. So instead of your toes being forward, your toes are up towards the ceiling, or even think about your toes being pulled towards your head. And you're gonna feel this muscle or muscles behind your leg, your hamstring and calf. Those are getting a really good stretch. You feel it? When you flex your foot? Yeah. Good. We're gonna do the other side, so just switch legs. Same thing, lean forward first. Head to knee. And then see if you can flex your foot. Bring those toes up and towards your head. Still leaning forward as much as possible. All right, do you have a favorite floor pose that we haven't done yet?
Yeah.
What? What is it?
Baby.
Baby pose. All right, you can do your favorite if you've thought of another. If you're like, oh yes, I thought of one that we haven't done and I really want to do it. Do that. Maggie wants to lay in baby pose. Right next to our dog. And in a traditional yoga class, you might end class laying down either on your back or in baby pose for several minutes. So if you've chosen that and you want to relax a bit, good. I hope you have time to do that. I'm going to leave you here. I'm glad you joined us. Great job today.